Okay, so that's the beginning of What's Your Name by Lynyrd Skynyrd. We're gonna start out with the C power chord here. We got 5th string, 3 and 5 on the D string. We got. So first we hit the C, and then we have C sharp into D power chords here. So we're gonna go. Then we got one of those little honky tonk things. Get your pinky over here in the D string, 9th fret. So we got. Now that was the 2 middle strings, the D and G strings. Use your ring finger. Slide 10s to 9s. First finger gets those 7s. So all together we got. Now we're going to have these 7s to the 9 on the A string and back to those 7s. Okay, so all together we got. So we're going to go big open E to the 2 to the power chord on the 3, that G power chord. So we got. And then we have this little riff. So that's G string, open, and then 2 open on the D, back to the G, and then flip these around, open to 2, and then the bottom 2 strings, 3rd fret. So we got. Okay? So here we have the 2s, 5s to 4s, back to the 2s, 3 to 4 on the A string, and we're into the verse on that A chord there. So the whole intro, 1, 2. So we're gonna have that same kind of honky tonk thing on this A. So it's like, and it comes in actually before the measure, so it's like an upbeat on the and of the 4 of the previous measure. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're doing our A honky tonk, going to the G over here, honky tonk. Then we come back in, you can kind of hammer this. You can kind of have the 2 down here, or 2 of these 2s. Hammer that 3 to 4 in the A string. Then we'll have a little riff. Bum, 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 bum. From the top. 1, 2. Okay, so that was hammer. 2 on the G, 4, 2, 2. Back to that 3, 4. Okay, so from the verse, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we went to the E power chord. And then we could go. There's a little riff in there. It kind of has with some upbeats on some chords there. So you could do like the 1 and open on the G and E strings, 2s, 3s, 4s, or you could come over here and hit the 6 and 5 on the D and B strings to the 7s, 8s, and 9s. So once again from the verse, 3, 4. Go to G, A, now E. So at that point we did a couple D's back to a couple G's. E. Okay, when we get into the chorus, we're going to have a C, C sharp, D power chords. So from coming out of that last A to E to A, we got. Now this new measure is going to go bum da dee dum, and it's going to wait till the last like and 4 and 4 and, because you know they're always hitting those ands before the new measures and stuff. So we got. So that's that same kind of maneuver we had from the beginning. So we got. so we just keep rocking on that G until it's time to pop in those new ones here. So we got. Okay, so all that happened there is we hit a G power chord on the 10th fret up here of the A string. And then we had that typical kind of A chord set up for the next verse. Okay, so the next verse is gonna be the same type of stuff. G. E. G. D to G. A. E. Back to A. Chorus. So we got a double chorus up in there. So after you've held that G for a little while, you got. Into a chorus again. So let's take a look at that lead. We're going to slide into the 16th fret of the A string. And this is like the A major pentatonic scale mostly. So we got 16 on the A, 14, 16 on the D, 14 over here on the G. So we got 16, 14, 16, 14. And then we're going to hit this chord here. So we're bending the 16 of the G with the 17 on the B string underneath it. So it's. Got two bends of that with some vibrato. So we're doing that chord with the bend, and then we're hitting the two 17s. So I got the pinky getting both of those 17s down there. So we got three sets of that with the chord with the high note up top. And then we're gonna go. So we got to pull off 16 to 14 on the G to 16 on the D. So we got. So hammer on 4 to 16 and some more 16s. So we got. So it's kind of similar riffs. And there's always like kind of one at the very end before the new phrase, you know, like at the last 16th note of that beat. So it's. Now we're gonna have a 14 and a 16 bend. And that was 14, 16 on the D, down to this one and back. Kind of slide that one down. So hammer, G string, pull off there. So, and then we're gonna hit that G string quickly before we go. So we got a 16 on the A string going down to 14 and then 12. And then a pull off, big 14, back to this 12. And it's like bam ba da down with a little slide. So we got. Okay, then we're gonna go. So hammer, big string, two 12s there, pull pull off, back to the big string. 2 12s with a slide. So you could kind of hit a 12 or just kind of slide into the 16. Okay, so we get into a series of where we're hammering on the D string and then hitting the G string note underneath it after that. So kind of holding that 14. And then you got that next set. One more of those, then we start getting into the 6 times repeating this phrase. And then we're back to kind of a thing from before. Then our last thing is, so that was middle strings, 14s, hammering into the 16 of the D string. Back to the lower chord. Then we have a 14 and 15 hammered into the 16 of the G. And then we're going to do that 16 and 17 with the bend. So the whole solo will be. And then we're back into the chorus. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we set up the last verse the same way. We had that G chord down. And then that kind of A riff kind of stuff. So we got last verse, 3, 4. We're going to have a double chorus. Okay, so at the end, after we've done that G, as soon as you get the boom, 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 we're going to go. So that's the open strings, in the middle, the D and G. 3s, the 2s, the opens. Then a 1 to 2 on the A string. Back to those 2 middle strings open, so it's. Use the G bass also with that last one. All right, what's your name? Lynyrd Skynyrd, great tune. Okay, so that was A power chord, 5 and 7. Go into the 5 on the big string and then the 3 here on the 5th. Slide from 5 to 7 on the A there. And then we're gonna hit the 2 middle strings on the 5. We're gonna try to hammer on, pull off on the 7th fret of the D, but get it real tall so you can still hear the chord kind of rolling. So we got. Go down to that 7 on the A, slide it down, and then the rhythm would be like. So F, A minor, But the solo, Gary's got a solo up in there, so it goes. And he's doing some pinch harmonics in there and stuff, so you try to pinch that harmonic. And a pinch harmonic is when you get way up on the end of the pick, like you're way down to the very end of it. And you just try to get that sweet spot. It's hard to get every time. But Gary Rossingham was really good at that. So once again, we got... So we're bending that 7 on the G, up and down, take it off, go down to the A note down here. So to the 5, and then... So that was A string, quick 7 to 5 to 3. Big 5 up there. So... Kind of try to pinch harmonic most everything. So that one was 2 bends on the 7 down to the 5, and then another couple bends. Vibrato that one there, and then down to the 5. Quick 8 to 10 on the second string, and then we got the 7 and 8 going to the 9 and 10. And that was 8, 10, 8 to that 9 over here. Hammer into the 10, hit it a couple more times. Try to get the pinch harmonic on it. Has a couple, a bend up and down, and then a couple bends up and down. We're gonna have a... So we got a... Could either be the double thing or just a 5 to 7 on the D. Couple more 7s, pull off to that 7, slide that one down. So the beginning again was... Now we're in a verse. We got F and A minor. Now we got a little riff here. D string, open to 2. Another 2. 2 to open on the G. 2 on the A to that 3, which is part of the F chord. So here you go. The middle strings opens to 2s. This riff again. Chorus. So the chorus is going to bring in the G in there between the F and the A minor. Same riff. It's either that lower one or sometimes it'd be that higher chord there. We got. And then we have this riff. So it could either be a chord again or just a single note, but it's 3 hammers like that. Boom, 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 da 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 boom. So you got a 7, 7, 5 pull off, down on that 5th string 7. So, and then we got Steve Gaines solo. Just doing our basic rhythm behind that solo, and then we get into the next verse. We'll have that little fill in it. Other than that, the verse is the same. Chorus will be the same again, and then we're gonna get into a bridge. That last chorus too is gonna have. We're gonna hold that A minor for a while, and then we're gonna get into a F major 7. I'm doing 3 on the A string, 3, 3, 2, 1, open. Got our F major 7, so we go. Kind of pick through it a little bit if you want. A minor. Now this third set. So that one you might come up to the A minor up here and go a little string 5. 5, 8 on the second string, kind of 5 back to 5, so it's. And then we're gonna have that same chorus. So a similar chorus, and then we're going to get into the Alan Collins solo. Now this is going to have like a 1.5 step, real wide bend. So you're trying to bend like all the way to the sound of the 5th fret off that 2 right there. It's kind of hard to do on some guitars. This one's it's kind of harder. I'm using this extra finger to kind of help me get that leverage. So there's a kind of a couple bends before the new measure hits. And then, so I bent it up. It ended up being like a total of like 5 times. So there's like 2 lead-ins. So that 5th one, I bent it up and pulled it off. And hit another 2 open there. Now this one's going to be O to 2 on the D. You can kind of hit the B and the G strings for these opens. We're going to hammer on, pull off that 3rd string 2 open. Back to the 2 on the D. Hammer into that. And then we're coming up here. So. And then we're going to have. Okay, so the whole thing we got. Here we have 2 double pull-offs, 7, 5. So I bent this 8 on the 2nd string, 5, 8, 5 down here, 8 to 5. Okay, so once again from those bends we had. So we're gonna hit that 10 again and then kind of do 2 8s down here into the 10 on the 2nd. And then 8, 10 with the bend. 8, 10. 2 10s there actually, so it's like. Then the end riff is. So we bend the 8 on the 2nd, then little 5, 8, 5. You got that flat 5th in there, 8, 7, 5 to the 7. Slide that down. So the whole solo. We got that new riff. We got C note here, 3rd fret, 5th string. So we had a quick kind of a slide, 5 to 7 to the 5 on the D string. Big G. End up hitting that one twice. Same type of thing, 5 to 7, lower 5. So that's a B flat chord. We got 1 on the A string, 1, 3, 3. Over to the F there, and then we got. Here's a Gary Rossington fill. We're going 7 and 5. Okay, so that was. And then 5 to 7 on the G. 7, 9, 9, 12, 12, 14. And then up to like the 14, maybe the 17 up there. Anywhere around there is good enough. Kind of slide it out of there anyway. So you got. Now this time we start Gary's full solo. 14, 14, 12, 14. 13, 15 with a bend on the 15 on the 2nd string. And as we're bending that, we get the pinky underneath it on the same fret. Hit 3 15s down there again. So we got. Then we have a riff that goes twice in a row. So that's 12, 15, 12. Hammer on, pull off. 15 on the 2nd. We do it twice right there, and then we're gonna have. So we're bending that 15 on the 2nd, 2 times, pull it off to the 13, 14 on the G. Then we have 15 and 12 in the bottom 2 strings, 2 sets, and then slide them out. So 3 bends on that 7, 5, 7. Okay, so that was the end of his solo. So we'll go through that again. So we got. So we got the little 5 on the D, quick 7 to 5 on the A. Kind of messing around with that bending on that 5. Then we're gonna go down to the 3 and then into that 5, 7 on the D, 5, 7 on the G to the 7 on the D, 5, 7. This is a cool riff. You gotta bend up and down on the 7, and then go into the 9 and get a 1.5 step bend. So 5, 7, and then you end with 5, 3, 5, 3, 1. Okay, so once again we got. And you can be trying your pinch harmonics and a lot of that too. So we got another verse after that, another chorus, and then we got Gary's next solo. We got. Okay, so we got stuff like that. So we're gonna have one of these bends. Then we're gonna have those 2 chords. Got that 7 on the D, and then we're gonna slide into this 9 here. 9, 8, 8 to 10 on the second, and then we're gonna have another slide riff. So 14 on the G, and then 13, 15 on the B, back to that 14. We're gonna bend that 15 on the little string. Down to that 12. Then we have a couple more notes. Then we get into a repeating thing. So it's 15, 15, 12, pull off. Goes like 8 times to that riff. Then you got this 13 and 14. And you kind of go down to the 9 and 8. So you just kind of got to listen for how the timing goes on those. Here we had 9, 7, 7, 5, 5, 2, 202. Then we start getting into it. We're bending the 7, kind of pinch harmonic, and that 5 below it. And as he's doing that, Alan Collins starts his solo. Kind of doing the same type of thing, and then Gary's gonna end with, and Alan's gonna keep going. Sometimes it'll have a double hit on the 17. So he gets into a bunch of bends on that 20 in there. And then he gets into this riff. So that's a second string. I'm borrowing those 17s. I'm going 17, 20 on the second, then the little 17. Then he gets into kind of reversing that where it's a pull off. So that was little 20 to 17 and then 17 on the second. After doing that for a while, he gets into a. So a bend up and down on the 20. And then you get into a thing where you're doing like a bend and then a downwards bend of the 20. And then it'll be followed with. So hammer on, pull off, 17, 20, 17. 20 on the second and back. Kind of does it all again. And then we get into that harmony lead. We got. Okay, so stuff like that. So we got 12, 14 on the D, same on the G, 13, 15. 15 up and down to the 14 on the G, and then do it again. Then we're going to the small string 15. So we gotta. So listen for it on that, you know. And then we get into the. Okay, so that's going to be 17, 16, 19, 17 on the D. And then the other guy answers that. Then we got 19, 17, 16, 19. And then we got 17, 19, 17, 16. Then we got the 18, 17, 19, 17. And then 20, 18, 17, 19. So check out the tab on these, of course, you got. So those last two don't have space between them, they go right into each other. Bend in the 20. Okay, so you got a double 17 sometimes. 3 big bends, we're back to our riff. Gary. Okay, so we had this 5th fret bend on the 5th string. Going to the 3 twice there. Got that pull off to the A down there. Down to that F here, so we got. Okay, so we got. So we're in the A minor pentatonic there. Okay, so let's slow all that down. We got. And then we got 8, 7, 5. Okay, so that went 7 to 5 to 8 to little 5 to little 8. And then we're going to go. So we get into a 10, 8, 10, 12, 8, 10. Okay, so one more time through, we got. Nine, 10, 7, 8, 5, 6 right there. Okay, so that's the first solo. Now the second solo is going to go. Okay, so what's happening there is we're into the 10 on the second string, to the 8, 10 and bending. And we're going to go a few bends on that. And then we're going to have a. So 10, 8 to 7 to 8. And then we have, so Okay, so taking it through slow, we got. So this last part is we got bend that little 8. This is a bend up on the second string. And you bend down, so you bring that 7 with you. So you release that 7 down to that 5 and 7. Okay, so one more time on this. Okay, then we're into the third solo. So this one's going into the double lead. We're gonna have. Okay, so let's take a look at that. We got that 9 and 8 and the G and B. And then slide into those again. And then we come up here in the octave. Okay, so jumping up in that, we're going on the 17 and 19. Okay, and then we have an answer back thing. So that's going to be 17, 16, 19, and 17. We're just going up the scale there. Then we start going quicker, so it's. All right, I'm hit them all one more time. Here we go. Okay, then the second one. And the third one. So you got a rhythm guitar playing those chords behind the solo guy here, Steve Gaines. So the first riff is 3rd string, hammer 5 to 6, and then it's like a major pentatonic kind of lick. So we got 5 6, 5 7 on the B string, double hit that low 5. And then the rhythm guitar goes B flat power chord to A power chord here, 6 8 8 to 5 7 7. And then we got the riff again. And then it's going to go down here, E flat to D power chords. So that one goes 5 on the B string. So you hit that 5 twice. And then you hammer into those. And you go D, D, D on that top. Back to the big one. Now we're going to go 8 to 7 here, F to E. We're going to go. So starting on the 7th fret. So that was 8 to 7 with the power chords. And about right then, if you were playing this by yourself, not having to do the chords at the same time, you would finish that riff there. Take it down to. But if you're having to do these chords kind of at the same time, that's about as far as you can go. You got to go to that 6 5. And then you have. So that's a reverse rake. We got 12, 10, and 9. And then we'll just go down 1 fret. So we have 11, 9, and 8. We got a 10 and an 8 right there. So let's look at everything so far. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So after the 1 is when you come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we have that pull off 10 8 on the 2nd string to that 9. A couple more of those 10s. So kind of a slide down. So this one is little 5. And we got these double pull off here. So we went back to that 5. 8 7 5. Little 5. Back to that one. That's a little flat 5 riff. Okay, so let's take a look at this again. Now we're gonna have this new riff, starting on that 5 again. So that's a pull off on the 2nd string, pull off on the 3rd string, 8 to 5 both. Little string then. So we got. So we have da 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 da, dee da dee da, dee da da da. And then we got. So deep down, that's the G string, 7 5. Pull off 7 5 in the D. D down, da da da. And now we're gonna have this walking up chromatic riff. So we have 5 on the 2nd string. We have a pull off on the 5 8 on the bottom string. So each time we go up, we go to a new note and we have to do it on a higher fret. So I believe it's like you move up as you go. So each new one is a thing. It could be where you go. Could kind of go either way on that one. I'm not really sure. Kind of makes more sense to jump at one time. So you have the low note and the 2 high notes together. Now we're going to a new one. Once we get to here, we're going to go. So that's a little 12. And then 12 on the 2nd string, bent up and down. Actually, just bent up. To the 10. Then 11 on the G, back to that 10. So this riff is a little 12. to the 10, 12, 10. So let's take a look at all that again. Now we're going to slide this 11 on the G string all the way to the 7. Pull off to the 5, go to that lower 5 on the D string. So we got 5 to 7 on the D string. So let's go from. Let's try that. 2, 3, 4. Now we have. So that's going to be that beginning riff. We got 8, 7, 5 in the second string. We got that half step thing. So it goes. So it goes. And then we're going to go. So we got kind of major pentatonic out of the minor right there. So we take that 7 to 9 on the A string, 7, 9 on the D, that 7 to 9 on the A and back to the D. Back to this 5 on the G. And then we go D da do D. So let's look at all we have so far. That was the whole intro. Then we got this G. So it's kind of on the upbeat, it's not on the downbeat. So G, G sharp, and A. Now we have this riff. So that's a 4-2-0 double pull off on the G. Same thing on the D. And then we have a 3 to 4 in the A. Back to our A octave there. So that's the 2 of the G string. And then we hit an A power chord. So we did a little hammer on that 3-4 in the A string after the power chord. Back to the power chord. So. And then that second one stops right there and the verse begins. So we got. And then we have this A kind of honky-tonk riff. Next verse. slide solo. We're not going to do that, but we're going to do after that, we're going to do that. So that's a little solo to get us into the piano solo. So let's take a look at that. The band would have 2 hits on the A chord. And then we got, so that's that BB box, major pentatonic kind of thing. 10 on the second to the 11 on the third. Bending that 12 a couple times. And then we're gonna come down here. So that's a hammer into the 7 from the 5 on the D. Back to the 5, and then a chromatic. So we got. And then we're gonna have this high riff. So that's bending the 15 down to the 12 pull off, and then 15, 14, 12, 15 on the second. Slight bend here on the 13 to the root note, that A right there. So now the last riff is starting on the 12, 16, 15, 13, and then it's going to have a upwards riff. So that was 14 on the G, and then 12, 13, 14, 15. So that whole thing we got. And as soon as that D hits, we're on that D chord. And that's just another version of the A7 that you got the A with those 2s with a little 3 on the bottom. And see, when it goes to the D, it kind of goes, and it kind of sets up that choppy thing. So it's like. Last verse. Obviously, we have 3 of those turnarounds. We got the and then we're gonna go that riff. Baby, I want your best. So you got to wait right there for him to say something, sing that little thing. Baby, I want your best. And then you hit the riff again, and then you just end with. Okay, so. I Know a Little by LYNYRD SKYNYRD off the Street Survivors album. All right, so that's the beginning of You Got That Right by LYNYRD SKYNYRD. We're going to have this F chord into a B flat chord with the 3s with the D down to B strings. So we got part of a C minor, 5, 5, and 4 here, and the D down to B strings again. And then we're going to add the 3 to make it a little bit higher inversion the next time around as we go down the chords. And then I like to bring in the thumb to get that F bass. That way I can do this kind of a Hendrix style, like the F chord down here, muting the A in between. Makes it easy to get to those 3s. You got the 5, 5, 4. You can even slide into that if you want sometimes. And you go straight back with the B flat to the F. And I really just worry about kind of the top of the F there because you got bass and stuff going too. So once again, we got beginning of You Got That Right. We got 2, 3, 4. Okay, so on that fourth time, we bring in this D flat 4-6-6 on the A string bass, up to the E flat 6-8-8, and then we're gonna be to F to start the verse. Okay, so did that 3 times. The fourth time we went D flat, E flat. Okay, so we have an interesting rhythm here. We're gonna have an F power chord. We're gonna hit that, then we're gonna go. So 3-0 in the D string, big 1 over here, the F, back to that little 3 on the D string, back to the F, to the open D. So it's. Okay, then the same thing happens on B flat. 3-0 bass, 3 bass O, right? So it's, look at the F again, we got power chord and then 3-0 bass to the 3 to the bass to the open. So 3, 4, and it's on a pickup like a little bit before the beat. So 3, 4. Right, twice on that one. Here comes the B flat. Back to F. Then we go to C for the turnaround. We're gonna go 5-2 in the G to the bass note, to that octave, bass note again, to the 2. And I like to get that a honky tonk one right there. We got 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's an E flat. We get to the E flat, we're like B flat, right? E flat. That kind of thing. Okay, so once again, we got the verse, we got F twice, B flat twice, F, C. Okay, so bum, ba, bum, you got that 7, and then you're gonna walk up 3, 4, 5, 6, da, da, B flat. And then we're back to the main part, the F to B flat to C minor thing. So we did 2 of those, then we're gonna have that change. We have another verse thing. So we're back into that riff. We do that 3 times, and then we do the added one. So now we're into a bridge. We're gonna have this F chord with a little honky tonk thing there. We got that 12th fret we're reaching to on the D string. We're gonna do that 4 to the 6. Okay, so we did that 3 times. Okay, then we have this new riff that's gonna be kind of sliding down the neck as it goes. 8-7, 6-5, 5-3, 3-1, 0-1, 3-3-1. So the whole thing is like. Okay, so we're on the A string, 8 to the 7 on the D, and then 6 to 5, 5 to 3. 3 to 1. Then after the 3-1, we go to the A string open to the 1, 3 on the D, 3 on the A, big 1. So the last part is 0, 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay, so it's. They set up the solo, so they go 2, 3. So they wait extra long time there, a few extra beats. Okay, so they walk up right there. They go to the A. Oh, 1, 2, 3 on the A. 1, 2, 3 on the D. 1 on the G. And Steve Gaines' solo starts over that verse progression again. So to be. Okay, into all that. Now his solo, it modulates up to the G minor. Okay, so we've moved up to G there. So when the solo ends, we're doing the same riff we were doing right back there, but it's a step higher into G. So it's 10 to 9, 8 to 7, 7 to 5, 5 to 3, 2 to the 3, and then kind of down that power chord of that G there. At the very end, it's going to go. So it's 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3 on the G, back to that D string 5. So that was 5 on the G, 3 on the second string, third string, maybe a little bend on that, end on that G, 5th fret of the D string right there. Big G power chord, finish it off. Okay, so here's Steve Gaines' solo. We're gonna bend this 5 on the G string, pull it off, go down to the 5 on the D string, little 3 down here, immediately bend that 6 on the second string. We're gonna bend that one again. We had 3, 6 on the second, bend the 5 on the G string, 5, 3, 5 on the D. So we got. And then we're gonna do this double thing down here, G and B strings. So we're bending the 5s up a little half step, back to 5s, 3s, back to the root note there, the G, 5th fret of the D string. And then we're gonna go. So 5s to 3s to 5 on the D, 5 on the A. So. And then we have 3, 5, 5, 5 on the D, and then we start again. We have 3 bends that time instead of 2. Then we're gonna go 3 to 3, little bend on the 6, to the 3, 5 on the second, 3 on the third, 5 on the fourth. So it's 4, 3, 1. We're going down that scale there, that blues scale. 3 to 1, a little bend on the 1. 2 3s on the big string. So from the second part of this bending thing, after we had. So then we got. We're gonna slide into the 7th fret with our ring finger on the big E string. Hold that just slightly. And then we start a faster phrase. And then we have a 5, 7 on the A, 5 on the D. Quick slide, 7 to 9 on the D, 7, 9 on the G. I move that first finger over to that 8 right there. And then we're gonna bend this 10 on the second string. So we're bending that 10 up on the second string, getting the 10 underneath it with the pinky. First string, bending it down to that 8. So let's look at everything so far. We got. Then we're gonna jump up to the 18th fret with our ring finger, second string. Okay, so we have. So we're up and down whether we're bent. And sometimes you just got to put it back up there and hit it like it's already there. You're not bending up to it. You don't have time. So it's like kind of slides down there. So to the 15, 18 slides down. That ends with 13 to 11 on the B string, 12 on the G. And then we slide ring finger into the 14 of the D, have a couple of G notes here, 12th fret of the G string. And one of the guitars goes, because he doubled this, and he had the other one go. So we're bending the 14 on the G, and it could be either the highest string 15, and come down, or that other one. Or you could do it as a chord if you're playing by yourself, trying to cover both parts a little bit. Now we pick up with this. So we had a pick up on the 14 on the D to 12 on the G. Bend the 14 there on the G. 12, 13, 14, 15 on the B. Up and down 14 to the 12, and then into the 14 on the A string. 12, 14, 12. Another pickup that same way. So we're gonna have a series of bends with the 14 going up, double hitting the 15 below it on the second string. Maybe the second one doesn't quite double hit, but the next three after that do double hit, so it's like you can kind of bend that down, pull it off, 14, 12, 14 on the D, back. Okay, so this is a cool part. We got another pickup on that 14. Bend the 14 up, 15 on the second, 12 on the first, 12 on the second. So it's, and then we go 15 up and down, second string 15, 14 on the third, 12, 14, 12, kind of slide down. Here's those. And then you go up to the 18 on the second, just to lead you into that 15. Then you gotta, so that's an 18 to 15 pull off, and then a 17 to 15. And then an 18 on the second, back to that. So it's like a 6-note thing. And you do that 5 times. And then you go into a, so you got a 17 on the third string. You go 15, 15 going down. Bend the 18 on the second. 15 to 15. Bend the 18 up. Little bend on the after that. 15's over there. You got that 18 to finish it off. And then you got that. Okay, so once through the whole solo. Okay, now there's some harmony things happening. We got that on that one riff where we had the harmony kind of goes. Okay, so that's kind of a lower type of thing to go with it, like second string, then third, and then on that D string there, and then we slide up to a 17 on the G, to the 15, and then our pull-off thing is 18, 15, 17, 15 to that 17 and back. And then you kind of end with a